great to see you again today. Thanks very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. For those of you who have already, really appreciate the support and appreciate everyone who tunes in. So today, what we'll be doing is we will be going over Power Query again. In this scenario today, uh, I'm going to retrieve a data set from the Department of Energy, Mines, Industry, Regulation and Safety from WA. And basically, it's all the different mining titles, all the different titles for all the different mining companies by basin in WA in the petroleum industry. Let's say, um, I work here for an AI automation electric vehicle uh, trucking company that provides these new trucks to big petroleum companies. And I'm looking to work out, who are the active players in the petroleum market in WA to sell these vehicles to. And I need to kind of work out, who I need to call and who I need to get in touch with. And to sort of make these sales. So what I'm going to do to start off with, I'm going to export this data. I've already done that. So I'm just going to go straight in here to Excel here to start off with. Okay, we're going to go down here to launch Power Query Editor. Okay, new source, file, Excel workbook. Okay, and then lease status. So it's all the historical based petroleum sites as well. We don't really care as much about the expired ones, renewed, leases, surrendered, cancelled in this particular example because we just want to know active, who are the active players with active leases that are currently mining petroleum in WA at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to say okay. All right, so that's coming across now. Beautiful. All right, so straight away here, this is the good thing about Power Query is we can see all the empty cells here and the errors. So straight away, what I want to do here is I know I need to go to current status and I need to go here and go remove empty. Okay, because that's not going to serve me any purpose at all, knowing the empty. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off select all and I'm just going to go active. Okay, so that's sort of what I need here. Okay, and then I'll go remove empty again. All right, so yeah, active. So that sort of narrows that down for me. Now the values in basin column where, there's some known players. Um, you know, if you've got the registered holders over here, you might go, yeah, okay, that's good. But in this instance, I want to know exactly what location they're working in and operating in. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to remove the empty. Okay, so now we have 0% empty in that column. This is all just part of the, so we've extracted the data set. Now we're in the transforming and cleaning phase. And, we might we'll load this into Excel for today once we finish this. So this is all ETL. Okay, so now coming over here to issue date. So there's some useful information there in the initial grant date and issue date. I don't really care too much about the initial grant date because we're just going to go off the date the lease was issued. So I'm just going to remove that column for now. Z state, there's no data value in that column at all. So that's no good to us whatsoever. So we're going to remove that. Number of documents, I'll keep that because you never know. It might be just good record to sort of have if there's someone that, um, kind of knows about mining and there's a correlation between number of documents and a particular lease. Probably might mean that there's more work that's being conducted on that particular lease because more documents are being pushed through, and then you can sort of measure that to the length of tenure of the lease, particular company. So over here we've got registered holders, so that's going to be pretty valuable to us. Okay, cool. All right, and legislation, I'm just going to leave that because that doesn't really matter. And then It doesn't really matter what type of title it is, as long as it's active there. That's what the most important thing is. Okay, so we're going to go issue date here next. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the column by number of characters. Okay, and I'm going to go 10. I think it's 10 characters for a date. Yeah, there we go. So got the date here now. So the issue date, just got rid of the time because we don't really care about the time. That's not important. Remove that. Okay, and then I'm going to remove this as well. Doesn't matter whether it's AM or PM. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same for the expiry date. Okay, so you can probably get a general gist of what I'm trying to do here. I'm looking at finding the date, the starting date and the ending date, and then calculating difference between the two to see how long that tenure has been going on for and how long that particular operator or mining company has been operating on that particular lease for, because this is valuable information for me. It's also valuable if you're doing the same, you're doing this to because you're a working in the mining industry and you want to have a bit of an idea as to what the competition in the market are doing and where they're at. Okay, so number of characters here again, we go 10 and I go, okay. All right, so I've split that down. That all looks pretty good. There's quite a lot of empties here. So, I don't really like these null values. I want full values for my data set, I've decided. So I'm going to go, right, I'm going to hit the empties here because I can't finish my calculation and get it nice and accurate when I've got empty values. Okay, so I'm getting rid of that. Get rid of this here. Okay, there's no point sort of hoarding data. I mean, if you want to do another example with a bit more information in it, with some empties as well, you can do that. But in this instance, we are just trying to, get full data so we 100% know for sure based on the WA government data. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add a column, a custom column. So we're going to go issue date here is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go issue date, expiry date. Yeah, so issue date, what I need to do is I need to convert this into issue year for the new column. And what I need to do is I need to go and use the date.year function again, okay? Like I did in my previous video. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go equals date.year. That should come up. There we go, date.year. Okay, and we've got date.year. We need to go open parentheses here before we have the variable and then close parentheses after the variable that I want to convert. I go, okay. All right, there's issue year here. Okay, so issue date's done, issue year's there. So the difference between this is, and why I like Power Query for this reason, is it allows you, once you've done the calculation and you've converted back into Excel, it sticks. Like if I just go equals year in Excel, I can do the same thing pretty much. But if I decide I want to get rid of the date column, I have to sort of hide it, or I have to do another calculation to get it to sort of stick. Whereas this column will always stick, even when you go back and get rid of the date column. So that's pretty powerful, especially when you go back into Excel. So next I'm going to go expiry date. So expiry date here at the top. I need to go date again. So I need to go date.year. Okay. And then open parentheses, close parentheses. And then this is expiry year. Okay. Oh, cool. So we've got issue year and expiry year there now. So what I can do is I want to get rid of these columns because they're rubbish to me now. Let's see if that affected it. No, it's good. It's stuck. That's beautiful. And that's important because, when you do equals year in Excel, that is one of the problems sometimes you will face is you might go, you'll get the year value based on the date, but you then have to keep the date column, as I said, and that's just frustrating. All right, so issue year and expiry year here. We're going to go custom column, and we're going to go tenure of lease. Okay, and what this is this is expiry year, and we're going to go minus the issue year. Okay, so you want to go bigger value minus smaller value here, right? And then we can see it here, all right? And if I just want to just do sort by descending there, I can sort of see, what companies here have had the leases in WA for the longest. So Beach Energy's been there for a while. Some of these leases here were 1971. And then, we also need to see the inconsistencies here that some have expired, but they're still active. So maybe that's an agreement with the government to keep extending, which can sort of happen as well. All right, so now we've got all that information there. We can see all the different lease titles here. We can see the type of permits on those titles. This is what's active, and these are the different basins here. We can go, okay, we're going to bring this into Excel. So we can go straight down into Excel now and just go close and load. All right, and bang, there it is. Okay, so it's all here in Excel. So we know that all these are active. So I'm just going to put this as like active lease data. Okay, and I don't really even need current status anymore because, we know that these are all active. Okay, cool. So now I can go in, and if I want to just rip out a quick pivot table in a new worksheet, I can do that. And then let's just say, I want to know the title. I want to know, we'll go title by tenure. Okay, so I can see here, what's sort of the longest. So if I want to know what lease has been around, what is the active lease with the longest tenure in WA according to the WA government at the moment? If I want to answer that question, I can go here and go more sort options, and I can go descending. Okay, and then I can see here that there's a tie here between these particular leases, and that have all been going for 21 years. And then if I want to sort of have a look at, who does that sort of belong to, I would go, okay, who are the registered holders there? Okay, so I get a bit of, I get a few problems here. So I've got to try and clean this up a little bit now. So I come in here, field settings, over here, field settings. Okay, and then I want to go design down to show in tabular form. Okay, so there we go. We have our titles, who's on the title, and the length of tenure there of that particular lease. Okay. If I want to know by basin, then that's pretty easy. I would just go in here. I'd go insert slicer. I'd go basin. Okay. And then you just go down here, and you're just looking at, okay, in the Carnarvon Basin in WA, these are the main players here: BHP, Apache, Northwest, Santos Offshore Proprietary Limited. And you would just kind of work through there. Canning Basin, these are the guys that are currently active there. Buru Energy, Gulliver Productions, Thea Energy, Gulliver Productions, and you just work through it like that, okay? So hopefully that helps there today, guys. If you kind of work in mining, or have a business that provides services to the mining industry, that's a quick way on how to pinpoint where there's some opportunities there. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. Cheers.